What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Recently I've been thinking a lot about the use of PEDs and how widespread it's become in the fitness scape, I guess we'll call it, or a fitness community, whatever the hell we want to refer to as. It's getting like really bad, you know? It's getting so out of hand at this point that you go on Instagram fitness and you go on the reels, and every other reel is a joke about hopping on trend. I mean, what the fuck is going on? You know, kids are treating, like, these kids are, they're literally kids. They're like 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're treating getting on PEDs as if they're putting on one of those you know, like tattoos that you get at like a vending machine that you can wash off. They think it's something to play with. They think it's a joke, you know? Like they're just gonna get on it, and then they're just gonna get big and strong as shit, and then, you know, whatever, one cycle doesn't hurt, and then they're just gonna walk away from it unscathed and be fine. I mean, what is this mentality? What is this fucking mentality? Like, not being able to assess risks or consequences of any kind? It doesn't make any sense to me. Bodybuilding at its core is meant to be a tool for health and longevity. It's supposed to give you the highest quality of life possible while giving you a long life, the longest life possible, so that you can be there for your family, for all your loved ones in your old age, and pass on your wisdom. It isn't about living fast. It isn't about degrading your health and throwing it to the side for aesthetics gains. It's never been the case. It blows me away that that's our priority now. It's like, the thing about PEDs, right? And if you're a new viewer and you don't know, I'll just lay it down now. I am natural, and I am completely against PEDs. In case it was hard to tell, I don't think I'm like freakishly big, but in case you had that like thought in your mind of like, oh, is this guy on any stuff? No, I am natural. I don't condone the use of PEDs whatsoever, and I recommend you stay natural if you're planning on being a bodybuilder or being, you know, a recreational lifter of any kind. But back to my other point, if you're completely unaware of PEDs and what they do, they essentially accelerate the rate of growth in your muscles, right? The training, the results that you get as a byproduct of your training is amplified. But I thought about it recently. I was like, what's a good way to really break this down and explain to people why it's not a good idea to do that? And I came up with a pretty good way of kind of explaining it, and that being that PEDs do in fact increase or expedite the process, right? But then I thought about the law of equivalent exchange, which I think is like an actual thing in alchemy, but I know it from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because I'm a weeb. If any of you are also fans of that, just hear me out here. So it's a law of equivalent exchange, right? Nothing can be made without something of equivalent value being exchanged, right? That kind of thing. And so PEDs are no different. You don't just get, you know, 3 times the results from working out without something being exchanged in return. So what's being exchanged in this case? And I thought about it. It's time. It's time, right? Because you get on PEDs, and what it does is it makes it a faster process, so you save time in the short term, right? You're getting to these higher and more elite levels of muscle mass quicker. But where's that time coming from? I'll give you a guess. It's coming from your lifespan, your future self. And I thought about it this way. For every 1 year, I think on like really effective cycles, dudes can make like 3 years worth of progress in 1 year. Those 2 years of progress extra that you made in that year just got chopped off your total lifespan. So if you're watching this and say that you were fated to die at like, I don't know, 70, you're now gonna die at 68. In every passing year, let's say 2 years is getting chopped off your lifespan. Another year goes by. All right, now your lifespan is down to 66. Okay, you've been on cycle for 5 years. Your lifespan is down to fucking 60. Let's say you're in your 30s now. You've been on cycle for 10 years. Where your lifespan is down to somewhere in your 40s. And what do we see typically with the guys that were on PEDs for long periods of time and abused the shit out of them? What do we typically find the big drop off in age? It's always between 40 and 50, isn't it? That's usually when it catches up to them. It's interesting. I was thinking about that. I was like, that is not at all a fair trade-off. That is not at all like a good return on your investment. That's stupid. And people will point out outliers. People like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. You know, like a handful of these sauce hounds that have made it into their old age. But they're millionaires. They got, you know, highest grade chemists and pharmacists making sure that everything that they're doing is, you know, perfectly fine-tuned and 100% done in a way that negates side effects and maintains longevity. You're not them. You're Joe Schmo. In fact, you might even be poverty-stricken and you're on PEDs. They're expensive, dude. That shit's crazy. But I digress. Point being, if you think that a couple pounds more of muscle is worth several years of your life getting lopped off, when your brain isn't even fully developed yet to make critical life-altering decisions like that, guys, your brain, I believe if you're a man, I don't know if this applies to women, but your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25. I think it's called the prefrontal cortex. That isn't fully developed until you're 25, and that is actually one of the best portions of your brain for critical thinking and decision making. So you're making a fucking life-altering decision like that puts you, locks you into something potentially that's going to ruin you for the rest of your life before you can even really make that decision confidently. Isn't that fucking crazy? I couldn't imagine doing that. And like, you can achieve so much naturally. Like, you can achieve amazing things naturally. You can get big as fuck. People think that you can't do something as simple as getting like 18-inch arms naturally. That shit is crazy to me. You can do that naturally. You can get strong naturally. You can squat 500 pounds. You can bench press 405. You can, you know, deadlift 600 if strength is something that you care about to that extent. You can achieve amazing things. It just takes dedication. It just takes fucking resolve. It's discipline. Isn't that what this is about? We're locked in for life, aren't we? Isn't this a lifelong pursuit? Why worry about how long it's going to take? Time's going to pass you by anyway. I don't know. It's just something that frustrates me. I really don't get why. Why is it so normal? I feel like I'm going insane. You know? It's at a point where if you make a video like this and disavow the use of PEDs, it's almost corny. Like, people are like, oh, relax, boomer. You're gonna tell me not to hop on SARMs, dude? What do you know? Fucking, look at me. I'm like 15 and I've got a horrendous body acne and I had to take SARMs to get fucking 15-inch arms. It blows my mind. It's like they treat it like it's a fad, like it's the hip, new, cool thing to do. Bro, you're killing yourself. You are killing yourself. To the point that this is now an epidemic. I think in the UK as well, especially. I gotta like look into it, but I think like a large majority of the youth in the UK are on PEDs. That's crazy. You know, and I'm thinking about it like, with the passage of time, man, we're gonna see a lot of young dudes dropping like flies. This is gonna be like an experimental era of guys, you know? And there's so many of them hopping on TRT in their 20s, bro. 20s, early 30s. What the fuck is that, bro? That shit, oh my god. I hate the direction that, you know, society at large is going in. It's all instant gratification. It's all now. There's no long-term thinking of any kind. I couldn't imagine it. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, I guess I just want to talk about that. The steroid trade-off, guys. It really isn't worth it. Alright? Really isn't worth it. Especially if you're just a recreational lifter. You're not trying to achieve elite performance in a given sport. If you're not at that level, then don't fucking bother with it. You can achieve anything that you have in mind. Naturally. Promise you. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Leave it on that note. Stay natty, boys. Yep. Stay freaking natty.
Or else I'm gonna find you. Yeah. I'll be under your bed.
I'll give you a stern talking to once you wake up. So don't hop on PEDs, okay? Boy!